بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Allah not only instructs us, but Allah also prepares the climate and the atmosphere for us. Imam Bukhari and Imam Muslim both relate a hadith from Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam says, إِذَا جَاءَ رَمَضَانَ فُتِحَتْ أَبْوَابُ الْجَنَّةِ وَغُلِّقَتْ أَبْوَابُ النَّارِ وَصُفِّدَتِ الشَّيَاطِينَ. When Ramadan arrives, the doors of Jannah are opened, and the doors of the fire are shut, and the shayateen are chained. Allah creates the atmosphere for us. Every night, in another hadith we learn, every day actually, in Ramadan, the angels announce, Ya baghi al-khayri aqbil, wa ya baghi al-sharri aqsir. O seeker of good, come forward, and O seeker of evil, desist. Because this is a month of good, not the month of evil. And having prepared this climate and atmosphere for us, having paved the way for us, having given us all the tools and the opportunities, the atmosphere and the climate for us to change, for us to divert attention away from our bodies and onto our ruh, if we do not seize this opportunity now in the month of Ramadan, then at which other time will we? This is why Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, in many hadith, he actually explains and he describes the individual who is unable to earn forgiveness in this month as being the one who is deprived of all good. The one who is deprived of the blessings of Ramadan, he is the one who is deprived of all good. Because if there is no hope for him in Ramadan, how can there be hope for him out of Ramadan? And I end with one final hadith related by Imam Hakim in his Al-Mustadrak and by others, by Ka'b ibn Ujrah radiyallahu anhu. He says, one day Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam climbed the mimbar, and placing his foot on the first step, he said, Ameen. And then on the second step, he placed his foot, he said, Ameen. On the third step, he placed his foot, and he said, Ameen. When he descended, we addressed him and said, O Messenger of Allah, today we have observed you do something which we have never seen you do before. When you ascended the mimbar, you placed your foot on the first rung and you said Ameen. Then on the second you said Ameen. Then on the third you said Ameen. That's all we heard, O Messenger of Allah. What was that? Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when I climbed the mimbar, Jibreel alayhi salam came to me. And when I put my foot on the first step of the mimbar, Jibreel alayhi salam said to me, O Messenger of Allah, may that person be distanced and removed from the mercy of Allah who finds the month of Ramadan and yet he is still unable to earn forgiveness. So I said, Ameen. Then I placed my foot on the second step and he said, O Messenger of Allah, may that person be deprived of the mercy of Allah who finds both or one of his parents, and then through them he is still unable to earn paradise. I said Ameen. And then on the third step, on the third step, he said, O Messenger of Allah, may that individual be distanced from the mercy of Allah, in whose presence your noble name is mentioned. In fact, this was on the second step. Your noble name is mentioned, and he still does not send salutations, peace, blessings and prayer upon you. So I said Ameen. The reason I mentioned is that this hadith has been narrated by various authors, and the order and procedure for the three things is different in some of the narrations. But in general, this is the meaning. The first, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, his Ramadan, that person is distant from the mercy of Allah who finds the month of Ramadan and yet is still unable to earn his forgiveness. Imagine, the chief of all the angels makes a dua at the mimbar of the masjid of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and the chief of all the prophets says Ameen to that dua. And may that person be deprived of the mercy of Allah who finds the month of Ramadan and yet is unable to earn his salvation and forgiveness.